Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap." I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vigors. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah. I don't like niggas, what's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code Mase, Cam, or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits with your first deposit and a free pick. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Mase and Cam.
Killer, what's good, man?
Murder, Stat, hello too. Sorry, Murder, what's good, man?
Hello, Stat.
How you doing, man?
We're all
Doing
back
good.
in studio.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, man.
Great.
Before y'all start, though, I'm waiting on my popcorn. In case it's one of those mornings.
Yeah, I'm gonna save some of the popcorn. You need like a half of popcorn.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm gonna save some of it for Talk with Flea. So,
Hey, Larry, bring my popcorn.
you got the
Yeah.
popcorn. Oh, okay.
Full bucket.
It's a
full
popcorn
bucket.
morning. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what up, nigga?
It's a Monday
Yeah,
popcorn.
man. How you? Nigga said. It's a half a pound. You should get half a bucket. Pause.
Just gotta save some. Okay. Well, we gotta talk about this fight. That's the first thing we're gonna talk about because we all seen it. Tank versus Roach went down on Saturday in New York, and the results wasn't what a lot of people wanted or expected. It did end in a majority draw. So based off of what you saw, Mase, do you feel like there was a clear winner?
Real quick, I know Mase usually starts. Mase, you mind if I start?
Yeah, go ahead. You go. I got my popcorn.
Because I just want to say something to your credit.
Okay.
This is really to your
I
credit.
really need my popcorn.
Yeah. Because a lot of times I'll be like, this nigga Mase he be bugging, yo. Like, I don't say it out loud because your opinion is your opinion. Mase always says, yo, don't bring this nigga out with you. Because they're not going to win if you bring this nigga out with you. Talking about football games, basketball games. And I be sitting here like, I don't really know, but then I got it when the fight went on. When you got that type of energy and you breathing that energy when everybody's sad and mad and depressed and try to look happy, but they not really happy, it gets into you. You have to keep sage in that environment. When you're in that environment, it lingers into the fight, and that's kind of the result of the fight. So I just want to before we get into the actual fight, I just want to tell you, I see what you're talking about now, because the people you with could possibly fuck your energy up for some shit that you supposed to do. You can't come out with that energy, man. It's bad energy, man. It is bad energy, man. Nobody's happy over there. Everybody's sad. Everybody act like they happy. You ever see that movie? I'm pretty sure you've seen Goodfellas.
Yeah.
And it's a part in Goodfellas where Sam Rothstein, who's played by Robert De Niro, they having mad fun. And Nikki, who's played by Joe Pesci, they over there just looking at them niggas like, yeah, we're having fun too. They not having no fun. Tank, get out of there. Get out of there. But let's get to the fight, Murder. I see what you're talking about now when you talk. Murder, and this has nothing to do with Murder. Murder says this about basketball games, football. I'm saying this that I see what he's talking about. Nasty work. Nasty work, man.
You gotta have greatness with you. I remember we was talking about the Eagle game, and I said, if what was that? I said if Meek Mill walked them out, they're not gonna win a championship. Meek didn't walk them out, they end up winning that championship. It's just something about it. Like I remember Terrence Crawford came out with Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
And he went on to have one of those moments, you know what I'm saying? It says a lot, you know. Who else was that? I don't know.
Well, on the opposite end of the
Mhm.
spectrum, this is what fucked the Lions up. When you bring out Jello.
Mm-hmm.
And listen.
See the writings on the wall.
Yeah, Jello not from Brooklyn, and them niggas wasn't from Brooklyn.
No.
Yeah,
in this fight, I mean, I'm trying to be serious.
Yeah, man.
All right. Let's get into the real Tank now.
Question at hand, yes.
Yeah, I mean, this fight with Tank, let me start by saying this. Tank is a phenomenal talent. I was really taken aback when Tank said he might be ready to retire. The last person that was a great boxer that I heard say they were ready to retire was Roy Jones, and we saw how that ended up. And Roy Jones is, one of those boxers that I really admired all the way through his career. But when you start talking that retirement talk, you always take a step back. It's hard to have words going backwards and go forward aggressively. And another thing was that it looked like he switched the team up. As much as they try to say it wasn't that, it was that. And this shows you that. Like, I remember one time I was somewhere and I was trying to do some music or something. And I let the guy hear the music. He's like, yo, you got to get back with D-Dot. At first, I didn't want to hear it, but it's something about the original people that you were with. Like, they play a part in your success. Like, they play a part in your energy. They play a part in what you produce. And sometimes you don't know that you're missing something until you actually don't have that person around. You know what I'm saying? And this is what the fight looked like to me. I think it would be a totally different outcome if Calvin Ford was there the entire fight. So a lot of this has to
He's not to cut you off, Mase. He was there. He wasn't the one man. He been reduced to the, well, you seen it, but he been reduced to the nigga sticking his head paws through the rope.
Yeah, and that's a part of the problem.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
You got there, you said, I mean, one of the things he said that, I guess when he was growing up, Calvin was like a father to him. So there's going to be some bad luck just by putting him in a different position. I just know that from experience. So, I think he lost the fight, if we're being really honest. Tank, you lost that fight. I mean, the only reason they gave you the fight was because you would make more money as a champion, but there's no way it's a draw, and they didn't call the knockdown. If they called a knockdown, you lost that unanimously. So I'm going to go on the record before everybody else tells you 100% you lost without blinking, hand up the guard, strike me right here. You lost that fight. And I think everybody believes that. I don't think nobody, being really honest with you, would say that you won that fight. And I think this makes a great second fight if he fights him again. And I think this gave Shakur Stevens even more confidence than he had before. He walked out of there thinking he's ready. I was happy to see the fight.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off of what you said, after this performance, this definitely looks like Shakur could be a better boxer than Tank. See, the thing about it with Tank, to me, is that Tank, when he fights, he knows he could turn up something in the middle of that fight to knock somebody out. He usually starts off slow. Round 3, 4, maybe 5, 6, he starts turning it up to where he outsmarts his opponent because they forget their strategy. They try and get into a phone booth with him, and then he ends up knocking you out to where Roach stuck to the game plan the whole time. He stuck to the game plan. I'm with Mase. I think he lost the fight. That referee has a lot of experience. For you not to call that knee a knockdown is crazy, bro. It's crazy. And we know as boxing fans, or if that's really boxing fans, the only knockdown of Floyd Mayweather's career is when his hand was hurting and he took a knee. He still ended up winning the fight, as we know he's 50-0, but he took a knee and it counted as a knockdown. For you to take a knee and the referee not call it, that's crazy. Then the excuse after why he took a knee was even more crazy. He said he had grease in his eye. People fight with blood in their eye, all type of stuff, from headbutts, etc. the leverage that you have as a superstar is amazing. And listen, you know the slogan stat, if you can get away with it, get away with it. But that was,
not in this case.
yeah. This is totally the referee fault because you can't blame the judges. The reason you can't blame the judges is because if the referee then count it as a knockdown, you can't score it as a knockdown. So that puts the judges in a compromising position for that particular round. So yeah. Secondly, Roach came to fight, bro. I seen a lack, not a lack, I seen a different type of respect that Tank had for Roach, knowing that they fought when they was 11 years old, etc., everything else. But Tank usually comes in fucking with his opponent, pushing them off the stage, making them flinch. He had a different respect for Roach. You know, they know each other. It was even during the press conference, they was talking a little shit, and they said something about Roach's mother, and Roach was like, my mom's right there. She liked to see when I beat people ass. He's like, oh, your mother here? Oh, I can't do this no more, man. Mama do care. Tank wouldn't have cared anybody else.
Well.
You know, he would, I don't know why you brought your mother here, nigga. You know what I'm saying? But that goes to show the respect that he had for them. And I think that played a part in the fight. Not saying Roach ain't come to fight because he knew this was a great opportunity that he had. And he took advantage of the opportunity. If Roach had more power, I'm looking at him 27 fights, 25 1-1, or 25 1-2 draws now, with 10 knockouts. If he had more power, Tank would have went down off a few of them punches. He would have definitely went down. And I'll wrap things up lastly after, of course, I agree with Mase. Tank lost by a point or two in my opinion, but I'll wrap this up lastly by saying this. Whatever people have against Floyd Mayweather as their fighters, as their boxers, as etc., as time goes along, Floyd brings you out, etc. I can't sit here and say why niggas is disputing over what it over girls, over money, over business, over whatever. I'm not about to approach none of that. I have no fight dogging none of this fight. All I'm saying is this: whatever the reason niggas is beefing with Floyd has to be crazy, because no matter what, if I don't like Floyd and I'm Floyd's boxer, me personally, and I think, Floyd, he don't like me with girls, or he don't like me with money, he don't like me this, he don't like me with that. Even how smart I am, Cameron, if I was a boxer, I would put all that to the side and have Floyd Mayweather in my training camp for the 2 months, or at least an hour or two a day, to soak in that knowledge that Floyd Mayweather has. I may not like him, I may think he's an asshole, I may think a bunch of shit, but what's not disputed is Floyd Mayweather's boxing IQ and his statistics and how he gets money. That's the least I would do if I didn't get along with Floyd Mayweather. Come to my camp at least an hour a day. I don't like you, you don't like me, we got business together, but his IQ alone, I would need in my camp alone. Floyd knows how to tell Ryan, come in 3 pounds overweight. He knows how to tell Tank, yo, don't let Ryan bulk up after the weigh-in. Don't keep the hydration clause so he don't bulk back up. He knows the tricks of the trade. He tells Canelo, now I'm not fighting you with that, but if you lose weight and come to 154, I'll fight you at 154. It ain't just in the ring IQ, it's all the tricks that come around the fight that he's well versed at and very experienced in. So I know, and I just Tank because I know Floyd has different discrepancies with different niggas, but if you have Floyd Mayweather in your training camp, in your corner, I don't see people losing if you're a decent fighter.
Yeah, and that is 100% right, because Tank is a better fighter when he's with Floyd than he is without Floyd. A lot of the fights that came after was the residue of Floyd being around, little things he was able to take. But as time goes on, you can go back to some of your old ways, and that's what this fight looked like. He went back to the Tank before he was with Floyd. And what else I wanted to say on this fight? I think in the future, if he don't make a change, he's gonna definitely lose, and he's gonna lose by knockout. Because it remind me a lot about like how Tyson was when he ran up against somebody that wasn't scared. Because if you think about it, Roach fought him toe to toe the whole fight, so he wasn't running. He took his best shot, pause, and still contributed. He never backed down, and I think he kept Tank thinking the whole fight. And I'm definitely an advocate of Tank. Want to see him do well, but you gotta make these changes, and you gotta go back to Calvin for it. I know the other guy, you may know him, but that's not the look.
Yep. Okay, so before we even move on from this topic, because Cam, you brought it up, but I kind of wanted to go a little bit deeper into discussion about it. So obviously, the most controversial part really kind of was his hair grease statement, because obviously Tank did voluntarily take a knee. And so in response by saying, I just got my hair done 2 days ago and she put grease in my shit, so the sweat and grease dripping in my face and burning my eyes. How do we even keep that from even happening again? Like, what's the change
Why
supposed
would
to
he even
be?
throw Lee? What's her name? Lee B the brand. Why would you even throw Lee B the brand out there like that? He'd be like, yo, you messed my. I got a thing I'm doing. I don't throw your boxing under the bus. How you gonna say it was the grease? Like, yo. And then she posted. If you go look at the post, she posted that the grease that she used on his hair had pretty much no grease in it.
Yeah, she did say that. She went after the fact and confirmed she didn't even use grease. So, which is also a crazy conversation in general. But yeah, Cam, what's also your thoughts on that part?
And blame snacks, and you
the whole thing about it is this. And listen, Bray, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of niggas, like, pause. I'm a fan of niggas getting fly and dressing well and, you know, looking good and everything else. I think Tank had a dope jacket on. I like this jacket and everything else. But sometimes niggas be too focused on the look and not the fight.
Yeah.
And making sure that everything else is right. It's the same thing where a lot of people last night compared, you know, not to be the dead horse, pause, but when niggas came out with niggas, when Tank came out with niggas, they compared it to when Devin Haney wore the essentials. you know what I'm saying?
Got knocked down like 4 times.
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes looking good, which is, like I said, I'm a fan of that. And this is nothing new. We looked at, for years, Floyd set the standard. Ostrich shorts, leather fur shorts, everything else. And it's dope looking good, all the way back to Prince Nassim, Hector Camacho. A bunch of people came in looking good. But that's not the main thing. The main thing is the fight. So we know 2 things. It's a contact sport. You're going to get punched. Secondly, we know you're going to sweat. I could see this being a problem if this wasn't his 30th fight, a 30-second fight. You know this is your 30-second fight. So whatever's been working for you as far as keeping the grease out your face, everything, just go back to that. But how you stop it from happening? Come nappy. Get it done after the fight. Come Tretch, naughty by nature. You know what I mean? Come with the afro out, nigga. Like, you know, everything ain't about the look. I get it. It's a great look. Cause listen, I ain't gonna say and hold you. If I had a fight, or if I'm a boxer, I'm coming out fresh too. Cause you gotta think, them niggas ain't wearing that shit for free. You get money for that. You get paid for that. But you know what works for the last few fights. You know what happens. You know what to do not to keep it in your face, bro.
Yeah, just don't throw Lee B the brand under the bus. That's all we ask.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last question about it, and Mase, you started to answer it. Would you want to see a rematch?
No. Me personally, I don't want to see a rematch because I think if he comes back and he knocks Roach out, then it kind of dismantles what happened the first time. But if Roach actually win, then it looked like I had his number all along. This is kind of turning into like a Roy Jones Tarver thing. To me, that's how I look at it. Like somebody you've been fighting since you was younger. They always said they could beat you. And this is another one. You got to remember the first 2 times that Roach lost to Javante, he thought he won those fights. So now to get here on the big stage and now be able to say, y'all know I won this fight. So now this is the 3rd one he feels like he won. But I don't know if he wins the next one. I'm not sure of that. But if he was able to pull it off, then it will be the biggest win of his career. I think right now that one fight turned him into a superstar. So to your question, I'm split about it. Pause.
Okay. Yeah.
I would love to see that fight again. To be honest with you, this was one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. That Benavidez fight was really good as well. That Benavidez fight got swept under the rug because it was the same night Luka ended up getting traded for Davis, so people didn't talk about that fight a lot. But this was a sensational fight, man.
Yeah.
I would love to see this fight again. It wasn't like it was some dull-ass fight because niggas are sitting there waiting for Tank to knock this nigga out, and it wasn't. And it wasn't like Homeboy was running. Roach was pushing forward the whole fight. So to Mace's point, it may not be the same fight again, but do I want to see it? Absolutely, I want to see it again. Yeah. Not to mention, he came up in weight 5 pounds up to 135 to actually have this fight. He's a lighter fighter than that. So I would love to see it. Is it the same result? No, but that was a great fucking fight last night. It was a really good fight, especially a few times when we seen the nigga actually stagger Tank. He actually hit Tank and staggered the nigga a couple times.
Like 3 times.
Yeah, and then not only that, like I said, he get in the gym and put some little more. He caught Tank well. I'm not going to say he would knock Tank out, but he could have put him down a couple times if he had a little more power. But he has exceptional boxing skills. I'm not saying his boxing skills is up to par with Shakur, not even a little bit. I'm not pushing that envelope. But this is the problem with people with Shakur. And I know Shakur thinks we don't like him or whatever, but the point is he's one of the best boxers in the world. He's just not a great knockout artist, and a lot of people want to see knockout artists. So when it comes to boxing, I think Roach is a great boxer. I became a fan last night after seeing his boxing skills. He wasn't rattled. He wasn't impressed.
Yeah.
He even reminded me of Kawhi Leonard in the face pause because he had the same face when he came to the fight and the same face when he left. His poker face never changed. He didn't smile. He didn't frown. That nigga was really diligent on how he approached this fight. Would I love to see it? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that there was a sensational fight, especially with the anticipation of, okay, Tank gonna get him this round. Okay, Tank gonna get him this round. Oh, it's round 5, he gonna get him in 7. Sin was doing that because he's a Tank fan, which we all a Tank fan.
Yeah.
But Sin was doing that. Sin's like, nah, he gonna go in the 8th, Tank gonna turn up in 8th. Then it get to, this fight is gonna be 10. Oh, no, he's saving it for the 12th. And it never happened. So Tank fans are waiting for that to where everybody, and possibly me too, thinking, okay, maybe you're going to get him, but Roach had other plans. I would love to see the fight.
Yeah, Roach came out there like y'all niggas got me messed up.
Yeah, that's what he said.
He didn't even like that. That's how he was fighting, because he was in his face the whole time.
Yes, exactly.
And the 2 times that Tank caught him, was crazy. He took his best shot and still was right there. He didn't back up. He didn't start dancing around the ring. He stayed right there the whole time.
Absolutely.
And I think that's why for me he won the fight. He was landing power punches, and if they think it's a draw, he was bringing the fight to Tank the whole entire time since the bell rung the first time. So that got to count as well.
Right. See, the reason I do want to see this fight again, Murder, is because let's think about this. Even though he's at 130, moved up to 135 to fight, is that, and I'm not wishing nothing bad on Roach. I was listening to niggas say, you can't kill roaches, nigga. When last time you killed the roach, nigga, it's hard to kill a roach. But what I was going to say is that the reason why this rematch needs to happen, because, and like I said, I'm not jinxing anything, I'm just giving what-if scenarios. If he goes and fights a Shakur and loses, so now it looks like Shakur is better than Tank. Or if he goes and fights a Keyshawn and loses, it looks like Keyshawn could possibly be Tank. You're not going to get no more money than Tank right now, no matter who you fight. So to take a risk with somebody else, not saying you don't want to be established as the best boxer, not saying you don't have a chance with the boxers I just named. The biggest, people already thought you was going to lose. So now you're going to get more money. It's not a bigger money fight out there. It's people out there starving to fight Tank because of the money they can make fighting Tank. So for you to have an opportunity to fight him again and make more money than you just made, I wouldn't turn that down.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're going to switch gears to basketball. So Joel Embiid is officially out for the remainder of the season due to ongoing issues with his left knee. The team is still trying to find solutions, but we obviously do not have a timetable for that. So with that being said, what do you think is next for Embiid, Mase?
That's easy. Rest is what's next for him. He's not gonna play in the playoffs. If he have this surgery, it wouldn't make sense to bring him back. We tried this last year. Last year we was talking about him sitting out, and them actually moving up in the draft if they would have done it. But now they find themselves at the same place that they were last year. And I remember I said this on a show that, time tells you who was right. When people think, oh, this person is right, but they both got a point. Time tells you somebody was right and somebody was wrong. And this is what happens when you look at Joel Embiid. He should have set out last year. If he would have set out last year, this could potentially be a championship team this year. They wasn't going to win it last year. They had a better chance winning it this year if he was healthy. Then Paul George came in. Then they got Mase. They were able to get rid of homeboy that went to Detroit. So this was a great team in the making if they made the right decisions. But timing played a role in the demise, and he just got to rest up and get ready for next year. And next year when you come back, Joel, you have to go to Denver. I'm not taking you serious until you show up in Denver at least twice. The first time I'm going to think you trying it, pause. The second time I know you for real. You got to go back through Denver. And people think on this show we taking shots at people. We're not. We're just calling it straight. We're just calling everything straight is exactly the way it is. So with that being said, I think what's on the calendar for him is rest. Is no reason to ice his knee up, give him cortisone shots, put him back on the floor, only to get him injured. And next year we'd be having the same conversation. That's poor management.
Yeah, we knew this was inevitable. We knew this was going to happen. But Mase is 100% correct. Rest. The guy been playing last year, tried to flay through the playoffs, did the best he could do, went to the Olympics all summer, didn't play a lot, but he still was there. Right now, him taking off, you got basically the whole March. So right now, even if you come back at the start of the season, which I don't even think he should come back at the start of the season, you got 8 months to rest, surgery, whatever procedures you're going to do, figure it out what's going on with your leg or your knee or whatever the point is, whatever the problem is. But you have a minimum of 8 months to rest. And not just 8 months to rest and recover. Set a goal for Christmas. And if that's not realistic, that's not realistic. Now, I'm not comparing him to Mitchell Robinson for the Knicks. Mitchell Robinson just came back for the first time this season. It's March. The playoffs is next month. And I'm not saying that the Sixers have the luxury of having Joel Embiid out until March next year and think that they're going to make a run at the title. They absolutely do not have the luxury of that. But if you want a healthy Joel Embiid to give you the best opportunity, I'm looking at Christmas. And hopefully that Paul George and Tyrese Maxey, now that Podcast P hung the podcast up during the season, it looks like he's good enough to help them at least get to a playoff spot till Christmas. Even if it's 9-10 in the play-in, 4th, 5th, 6th, there's no reason that the Sixers should be sitting out of the playoffs right now.
Yeah, with Paul 2 stars.
Yes, it's no reason that they should not be in playoff contention. There's no reason the Orlando Magic is ahead of you. And we seen what Orlando did last year. I mean, Banchero and them niggas, they really good. And he's been hurt this year. We're going to talk about SUGGS later. But the point being is, we seen the strides that Cleveland took this season so far. Get the rest. Hopefully the Sixers can hold on by Christmas, if that's a realistic date. I don't know exactly what's wrong with you. It may take a whole year for you to sit out. But at the end of the day, you might as well get back to 100%. And if it's not 100%, at least get yourself back to 85, 90% to give the Sixers a chance.
Yeah. So the thing with the Sixers, it's definitely a big question mark because unfortunately they have dealt with a lot of injuries. And obviously Embiid is only 30 years old. And this season he only played 19 games. How long do you really see him playing for? And I'm not saying like, oh, Embiid needs to hang it up, but it's like, when do we kind of have that conversation if he keeps getting hurt?
And I think that all is based upon when you talk about how long you play, that's connected to family. That's a family decision. I don't think that really comes down to just basketball. Sometimes you start thinking about your mobility and how that's going to affect your raising of your children and things like that. And then the family start having that conversation with you. I think guys that really love the game, they never think about retiring until somebody start having that conversation with them. So for me, it would be like asinine for me to even say it should be this time or that time for Joel Embiid. I could see Joel Embiid playing at least 8 more years in the league. It definitely if I see LeBron playing 4 or 5 more, so I think Embiid got at least 3 more than that if he could be healthy. But if not, he's going to be somewhere around 6 or 5 right there with LeBron.
Okay.
I think there's no timetable on this, but all these big men career don't end well outside of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. We seen Shaq, and Shaq my dude, and Shaq know this too. Shaq got passed around like the fruit punch of the party at the end of the career. We sat there and see Shaq with Cleveland.
The Suns.
Then to see Shaq with Boston.
Was crazy.
Was crazy. Yeah. Then, to see Patrick Ewing with the Seattle Supersonics, to see Hakeem Olajuwon with, I forget what team he ended up going towards. For outside of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, it doesn't usually end well for the big man because there's always place for a center in the NBA. But when you look at our superstars and we sit there and say we want something out of them, as far as we want to see the old Shaq, we want to see the old Hakeem, we want to see Hakeem. It's like, that's why to me, Mike Tyson is still able to go get $20 million for a fight, exhibition fight, whatever you want to call it, because you want to double back and remember when Mike used to knock niggas the fuck out. I want that time again if you're old enough to see it. And his value is still there to go get a fight with somebody like Jake Paul. And don't get me wrong, Jake Paul brought a lot of value to that. But he knew bringing Tyson was a big value as well. And I just don't think it ends well for big men. I can't see how long he's going to be playing in that. But one thing we do know is this. When Joel Embiid is healthy, he's a monster. He's a real problem.
Yeah.
The problem is he's not healthy that often. He's actually made more money sitting on the bench than he's played in games. I don't actually have that stat in front of me, but I had it in a few of my notes previously to where he made something like $144 million, don't quote me on this, on the court, and made $148 million on the bench.
Yeah, he made $125 million earned from the games that he's missed, which is crazy. Yeah.
It's crazy. $125 million. I'm not rushing to get back out there. I'm still eating. I said I'm hurt. So hopefully you have a good offseason, whether it's surgery, whether it's rest, whatever it is, and we can see the Joel Embiid that we've seen in the past when he's healthy. But as far as another 8 years, I'm not going to give him that. Not with the health we've been seeing. $125 million sitting down. I don't see it. I don't see 8 years.
Yeah. And then all jokes aside, I'm hoping he feels better because I want to see him play. Like at the end of the day, like these are the matchups that we want to see. We want to see Embiid versus Jokic. We want to see Anthony Davis. Like these are the players that I'm trying to see play. So hopefully they figure something out, but it's something that's difficult to fix. And it's not going to happen overnight. So we'll see what happens. Tonight, the Sixers will play the Blazers. Underdog has Tyrese Maxey at 29.5 points. In their last game, he had 5 points versus the Warriors. So he had an off game. But Mase, do you think he'll have higher or lower for this game?
Then 29 points?
Mm-hmm.
Is that just points?
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm going lower.
The Magic?
No, the Blazers.
The Blazers, pardon me. Where's the game?
In Philly.
In Philly? I'm going to go higher. You should have a good game against the Blazers. The Blazers aren't that sensational. 5 points, you got to have a bounce back game from 5 points. Don't fuck up Cold Cam, Tyrese. Don't. Cold Cam been killing this season. Do not fuck it up.
Okay, and Scoot Henderson's at 20.5 points, rebounds, and assists. In the last game versus the Cavs, he had 15 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds. Do you have him higher or lower? Cam?
I'm going to go lower. I haven't really been keeping up with Scoot after probably the first half of his rookie season because I was seeing who they got rid of Damian Lillard for. And I'm like, get rid of this. And I understand it's a time limit with all these teams. Get rid of C.J. McCullough for Simons because Simons was killing. Then you get Scoot Henderson, get rid of the Trailblazers. And they're not doing half the job that C.J. McCullough and Damian Lillard was doing with the Blazers. I know they're young. I know they still have some time. But until further notice, I'm going under right now because he's not living up to the expectations that I know the fans and especially the Portland Trailblazers was expecting.
I'm going to go higher.
Higher for Scoop. Okay, make sure you guys download the Underdog app and you can make your picks too. We're going to go to break. When we return, we will discuss the Warriors' loss to the Sixers. Don't go anywhere.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. What's stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. She wanna be free. Why am I here this woman wanna be free? Hell, I don't wanna see her walk away. I wish somebody told me the rules. Disagreements let her win, and it's cool. Even when I'm right, this ain't about you.
Welcome back. So even without Embiid, the Sixers still beat the Warriors 126-119. So Mase, what's your opinion on the Warriors' loss? And I know we were just talking about the Sixers and their roster. Does it seem like they'll be able to turn out just fine?
They've been stating that they're gonna win a championship. So I think this is just a part of the process there. I don't think that Draymond Green will lie to that degree. I think if he's gonna talk that crazy, they're definitely gonna put up a better front before the season is up. I look forward to them going on a run. I'm not surprised that they lost this game, but I don't think they'll continue to lose this way.
Yeah, listen, we go to see since this trade the difference that Jimmy Butler makes. Jimmy Butler didn't play in that game against the Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy Butler makes a difference on this Golden State team. I think they only have one loss when he's playing. He's a bucket, literally. Sorry, Stat, he's not on Miami anymore.
I'm sick about it.
Yeah,
I'm
because
so sick
we
about
see
it.
how good Jimmy Butler is when he's happy. He always, when he leaves, when he exits the team, we get to walk off the court, don't come to practice, take his own flights to the game. But a happy Jimmy Butler is a walking bucket, and this is the difference when he's playing and not. Back to Mace's point when he said Draymond said that they're going to want to chip. That's just confidence, and I believe Draymond believes what he says, but that's what Jimmy Butler. He said that statement after the Jimmy Butler trade happened, because you got to think about this. You got Andrew Wiggins. The difference between Jimmy Butler and Andrew Wiggins. You can't give Andrew Wiggins the ball, which he should have been at this point by now in his career, and tell niggas to get out the way. He's not that type of player. Jimmy Butler takes so much pressure off Steph Curry. That's amazing. You got Draymond Green being running a point forward. A lot of people don't know Draymond Green has the most triple-doubles in Golden State Warrior history. Out of all of the legends that came through Golden State, he is the number one player with the most triple-doubles. Because that comes to attributors, don't get me wrong, he down there grinding, getting boards, scoring his points. But you got Klay Thompson most of your career, and you got Steph Curry. They knocking down shots. Now with a Jimmy Butler, it gets you back to somewhat of what Klay Thompson was doing. Not necessarily as far as the jump shots, but it gets you a bucket. And I don't really count that loss against the Sixers because Jimmy wasn't playing. Should they have won the game without Jimmy Butler? Absolutely. But it still is important. Well, pardon me, not important. We see how important Jimmy Butler is to this Golden State Warrior roster. Right now, they're actually tied for 6 with the Clippers. So you sit there and say, damn, they might. We was just looking at it before the All-Star break. I think they was right underneath the play-in or in the play-in. And now they're tied for not being in the play-in ever since Jimmy Butler got there. So I don't make much of this loss against the Sixers. He was out with back spasms. He'll be all right. And he makes his Warrior team a much better team. So I'm not really concerned about that loss to the Sixers. Are the Sixers going to be all right, Stat? No, not this season. They're not going to be all right. It took too long for Paul George to get the podcast up. We know Joel Embiid is hurt. Tyrese Maxey, he's a small guard out there trying to do what he can do. He can't carry the team by himself. We only seen one person ever do that, and that was Allen Iverson. And he still came up short against Kobe and Shaq, but he got them to the championship. Somebody that small cannot lead a team by themselves to the championship outside of Allen Iverson. Oh, we just never seen it done. But who's to say that they don't sneak in the playoffs, the Sixers, and at least get to the playoff spot outside the play-in? But I don't see them going out past the first round.
What about Miami? Are we ever going to see Miami against that?
I mean, yeah, they are not performing how I want them to, because I'm a little salty because the Warriors are literally, like Cam said, 8-1 with Jimmy Butler now. And we knew that was going to happen because, like you said, Jimmy Butler is happy where he is now. That's why I was saying this is literally Tyler Hero's team. So it's like we have to follow suit with what he does, which is great, I guess, but it's still not enough for me. So,
it's
hey,
a problem when it's Tyler Hero's team.
I'm optimistic.
Where Triple J? Where Triple
He's
J
still
at?
there, but it's just,
Isn't
me,
this
it's just
great
not,
for Triple J get to play now and be the man?
It's actually not great because it's just not, we're not where we need to be. And that's fine for now.
My goodness.
For now. I'm a little frustrated and I am a little salty. Make sure you guys check out my last episode of Check Out the Stacks so you guys can hear the saltiness that I had, because I go a little bit more into depth about it and the Heat and where I see them going for the rest of the season. But yeah, we're in a little pickle and it happens. So whatever. I'll be fine. It's okay. Okay. And then I do want to shout out on the Sixers, Quentin Grimes, because he did drop 44 points in that game versus the Warriors, which a lot of people weren't expecting him to even have that type of play. So shout out to them for winning that game. But I think that this is still a little bit of a rarity. The Warriors are balling right now, so we can expect more from them throughout the season while the Sixers continue to figure it out. Okay, so next we're going to talk about the Magic. Right now, they're the 8th seed in the East. We don't actually talk about them too much, but right now, Jalen Suggs will undergo knee surgery with no timetable for return. Or is hoping as a speedy recovery, because that's not news that we want to hear. But with the absence of Suggs, Mase, what is your opinion on the Magic?
I really hope as being a Floridian that they hold on to this league, because this is why they shouldn't have gotten rid of Markelle Fultz. This is exactly the player they need now that he's going into surgery and they're at the 8th seed. I think with this team, if you don't have Suggs on that perimeter, you definitely are missing a guard that could play defense, that could stop somebody else, and they're going to need that on the East Coast, especially as good as Cleveland is playing, Boston is playing, Philly, even Indiana guards. You know, you got to have somebody that could stop somebody. So with this being the case, him going out is like a nightmare for their chances. Because I was looking forward to seeing them lose in the first round, but at least make it. And this now put them back as a play-in team. I wouldn't be surprised if they go on a losing streak and end up in the play-in. That's what it says to me, because Suggs is that important to that team.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about it. Mase is 100% correct. They need everybody on that team. They had a great year last year, and we're going to see how they built off the success of last year. But Banchero missed a handful of games this year with injury. Now you got Suggs out. I think that team needs to be complete just to get to the second round. I can't even say much more than Mace's sake. Possibly a play-in and possibly missing the playoffs. But Banchero is one of them players that can wield them. Like, we were just talking about Jimmy Butler, not comparing him to Jimmy Butler and Andrew Wiggins. But I'll take him as a scorer over Andrew Wiggins. He could go for 40. He could go for 50. Will he do it when it counts? And how much help will he have?
Okay. And then the Celtics beat the Nuggets 110-103. But I want to make this about the Nuggets real quick. So, Mase, among the teams in the West that are considered threats, regardless of their standings, their rankings right now, where do you rank the Nuggets as far as how much of a threat they are?
I think the Nuggets are right there, pause at the top. You know, for me, even though you got OKC and you got all a few other teams playing very well, I think when it's all said and done, I got the Nuggets right at the top. That it doesn't matter who's playing well because you got to beat Joker and Murray in 7 games, and I don't think anybody's shown me that that's just gonna be the case at this point. Right. So at this point, I'm definitely going with Denver out of the West for me.
Yeah, I like the Nuggets a lot. When you got a healthy Murray and then you got a healthy Joker, and then, like I said before in previous shows, this is kind of the best that Russell Westbrook has been playing in the last couple of years. I like them a lot. But pardon me. But the one thing, pardon me, y'all, the one thing that's going to have to give is Michael Porter Jr. You have to be a reliable third option. And it's too many years for you not to be a reliable third option, Michael Porter Jr. You know, we sat there and watched them get rid of Bruce Brown and Caldwell Pope left. They left. They didn't mind losing them players, Denver organization I'm talking about, because they're saying, okay, Michael Porter Jr. should have stepped up by now and been a reliable third option. If he doesn't step up and be a reliable third option, I'm not sure where Denver's going to be. I like Denver coming out the West myself, but those key components to that championship team, a few of them are gone, and Michael Porter Jr. has not done anything to show improvement on his game. He has the same game that he has when he came in the league. He has not improved on anything. You are 6'10". You could shoot. You could go to the basket. Play like you're 6'10". To me, Michael Porter Jr. is where Ben Simmons was when Ben Simmons was good, before Ben Simmons went into whatever the fuck he has going on. Because Ben Simmons, people forget he's a 3-time All-Star. Michael Porter Jr. is not an All-Star, and I don't even think he's as good as Ben Simmons when Ben Simmons was balling, but you should be that good. And you can shoot. If he doesn't get it together and be a reliable third option, I can't count on Denver. As good as the Joker is, as good as Jamal Murray is, as good as Braum is playing on the team, as good as Russell Westbrook is doing with the Nuggets, it is all based on what Michael Porter Jr. does, how far the Denver Nuggets is going to go. Because everybody is on the scouting report for the Joker. They're on the scouting report for Jamal Murray. They're on the scouting report for Russell Westbrook. You're like, whatever. Yo, you're 6'10", and you can shoot. There's no reason you ain't have a couple 35, 40-point games this year.
Yeah, it ain't like nobody could double team him.
Right. So, I don't know. I think the Denver Nuggets' success is going to be based upon him. But I still would say with their championship experience and where they're at right now, I would pick Denver. Look, we're thinking about this right now. Nobody's going to talk about it. The great job that J.J. Redick is doing. This trade is looking like it's sensational. The Lakers are in second place right now as we speak. The Lakers in second place?
We are balling.
I don't.
I have so many questions still. So many questions.
Yeah, we talked about this. It's who you with, Cam. It's who you with.
Yo.
That's wild.
Yo, bro. Anyway, man. The Lakers, there's no time outside the first 5 games of this season that I would have had the Lakers in second place, especially in March. As much as niggas gave niggas a hard time because of the podcast, him and LeBron had before the season, talking about, oh, he's just getting picked before the podcast. We got to think about this. They tried to get Danny Hurley to coach before J.J. Redick. It was somebody else they interviewed before J.J. Redick. Then they both turned the job down, and they say, okay, we'll take J.J. Redick. And J.J. Redick is doing a sensational job. So I have to give my hats off to LeBron for looking like he's 27 years old, and J.J. Redick controlling the team, the locker room, the environment. I seen a couple speeches that he had in the locker room. It looks like everybody's on the same page. And to me, Luka has not even played great yet. He's played good. He's played decent, but he hasn't played great yet. And if he plays great, this could be a dangerous team. Their center position, they're lacking, so I think this will hurt them in the playoffs. But their defense has been tremendous, talking about the Lakers, since Luka got there. They got Luka playing defense. He's trying. He's trying. I'll say that. At least he's trying. But for the Lakers to be in second place, I want to salute them right now. But Michael Porter, back to the original question. Michael Porter Jr., this is based on you on how far the Denver Nuggets will go.
Okay, and then Mase, real quick, just regarding the Lakers.
Oh, here we go.
This is your team. Are you willing to give JJ Redick his credit? Because I asked you this before.
It's not JJ Redick. It's actually me being with the Lakers. Where I go, people win.
Okay.
It seems like you go there after they win.
Coincidentally,
I'm just,
all of a sudden,
have a show on this.
I'm just saying. It seems like you
it's
always
who you with.
You always end up with it.
I have a good energy. You go around people, they start winning.
But you don't be around the Lakers. You don't be around like this. Even goes back to the Chiefs murder. Ask you who the coach before. Pardon me. Who's the head? Pardon me, the quarterback before Patrick said, I don't know all that.
Cam, you're actually lending to my point.
Right.
When I got there.
No, I understand.
And I get there and they start winning. Look at Bezo. I don't see why they don't get this. Everywhere I go, I win. And then if I show up, people start winning. So me going with the Lakers, we was skeptical about JJ Redick. I said, you know, it might be a great idea if LeBron wins a championship with his son. Then that'll put him up there with Jordan. I said, not quite, but, in the ballpark. And ever since then, it seemed like LeBron heard me from somewhere. I don't know.
But you never be around none of these people.
Cam, my word travels.
Okay. Got it. Say no more.
Yeah, you got it.
They got to answer. I quit.
You got the right one. Nigga said his word travels.
I quit. You got it.
He literally does. He always has an answer too. Like I can't. I cannot.
The word travel. What was wrong with that?
It was great. That's the problem. Because it's always great.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Last topic before we wrap. So the 49ers officially traded Deebo Samuel to the Commanders in exchange for a 5th-round pick. As part of the trade, Washington is taking on the remainder of his contract and paying his full $17.55 million salary for the 2025 season. Without Samuels, do you think the 49ers are in a better or worse situation?
I don't know about that, but I know Magic Johnson is taking a page out of the Philadelphia Eagles book. He said, you know what, we get a powerful runner, we might have something to say. And I think that's what he did. But the 49ers, what a great organization, great coaching, great staff, great owners. I think if they made this trade, I would have to agree that they're smart enough to know what they're doing, and they must see something that we don't. That's actually what I would think. Thinking about what's his name, Shanahan, and the York family, they have to know something. This is like one of those underdog picks where they make a move and you don't know, it come back to be true.
Yeah, listen. At the end of the day, I think the Commanders are picking up a good piece. Are they doing as good as Washington did last year? Pardon me, not Washington, Philadelphia and Baltimore did last year? I'm not sure. But at the same time, the 49ers got sick of Deebo, saying he went out. Deebo been trying to get out of the 49ers the last 2 years, throwing tantrums, not showing up, dressing sassy, how he want to dress, coming through. Listen, he been wanting out, and they finally said, enough. Get ahead and leave. We don't want nobody who's not going to be here. Now, as far as the 49ers' success, I think the 49ers are going to be all right. We got to realize the 49ers was dealing with injuries since day one. Ayuk was hurt. McCaffrey was hurt. Deebo was actually hurt. Skittles played to Kittles. I call nigga Skittles. Kittles played 60-70% majority of the season. They was out early. They have enough time to rest. So as long as the 49ers are healthy, I think they'll come back strong next season. But as far as Deebo's concerned, He went out and they gave him out. Think about this. This is a 5th round draft pick. They didn't get multiple draft picks. They didn't get a bunch of shit from him. They gave him a 5th round draft pick and said, take the nigga. Y'all deal with him. You think he's that good? You pay the $17 million. And we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, and I think behind the scenes, they're trying to free up that cap space for somebody like Tyreek Hill that also wants to be on the move. So he has to find a home. And what better way to get rid of somebody that doesn't want to be there and get a talent in like Tyreek Hill?
Yep. I'm going to say this is like an ongoing thing, like with like athletes were already having their way, but I feel like they're extrally having their way because everybody that kind of wanted to leave or being put in a different situation has been granted that, which is good because it ends up working for them in their favor. But specifically for the Commanders, they are already in a good situation, right? And they don't really have much to lose because the whole narrative, like, well, we didn't think we were going to get here to begin with. They've proven us wrong each time. And most of their wide receivers are actually pending free agents. So it's like, this was just the perfect alley-oop for them. So I think that next year, they were already a problem. It's going to be a bigger problem. So shout out to the Commanders.
And I'm glad that you recognize that stat because when you say players getting their way, they really are. We had Dennis Schroeder a few weeks before the trade deadline talking about this is slave ship. They just sending people here, sending people there. Players getting their way, and if you get enough, you might get your way. Dennis Schroeder learned the hard way he isn't as good as he thought. He was on 72 teams in 3 hours. I don't know where he ended up at. Where's Dennis Schroeder playing at? Did they end up keeping him?
Was it in Utah or something?
I think they put him to Toronto or some shit.
Yeah, he's in the Pistons.
Okay. Well, that's actually a good situation right now. The Pistons is a great situation.
Yeah. So,
is he starting?
It worked out in the end. He should be. He should be. But yeah, shout out Dennis Schroeder because, he got shipped away, but in a good spot. He didn't just get shipped away. He got shipped all over. He definitely did. But I don't know. They figured it out. They're good now. And the Pistons are in a better situation. So honestly, it was a blessing in disguise. That's what I'll say.
They're not selling chicken no more.
Exactly. So. They good. They good over there. Okay. That is all the time that we have for today. Thank y'all for watching.
Putting a bet for the Pistons to go to Eastern Conference Finals.
Whoa. You know something we don't?
No, the odds is good. Not surprising. They playing really well. Not saying they're going to make it. I'm just saying I'll put in a bet.
Who are you putting a bet up for, Mase?
I wouldn't bet, but I think on the East.
Yes.
Come on, they're not beating no Boston.
You said not beating.
You said they're going to get there.
Yeah.
And Cleveland's doing well too. And the Knicks.
That's pause. That's gutsy to say they're going to be at the Eastern Conference. I would go with Cavaliers in Boston.
Okay. Let us know who y'all got in the comments down below. But that's all the time that we have for today. Thanks for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. Two Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.